She must become our next president.
To me, this is one of the saddest moments I've ever seen politically, for that matter, anywhere in life. And have a listen.
Secretary Clinton has won the Democratic nominating process, and I congratulate her for that. And I intend to do everything I can to make certain she will be the next president of the United States.
Ari Goldkind.
Well, yeah, so you're asking my opinion on that?
Why don't I give you mine first?
Okay, by all means.
The problem in this world was completely summed up in the 40 seconds of that clip that we saw with Bernie Sanders endorsing Hillary Clinton. And the reason for me saying that statement, that strong statement, is because everything in politics is a complete fucking lie. And they always tell you, though, we want to go out and encourage new voters and people to get out there and make informed decisions and go and support the best man or woman for the job, and do it in a way with integrity, because you stand by that party, or you stand by their issues or the way they're going to deal with them, and you're going to stand by the difference that they're going to make. Now, Bernie Sanders resonated to millions of people that maybe never would have gone out to vote. He resonated with millions of people who would have never really thought and opened up their eyes to make a difference on this planet, and he really somehow engaged and compelled them enough to support him through rallies and support him through applauses and support him through money, their own money, to go out and hopefully get him elected the president of the United States. And for when I see this clip of him now, and I know the word intend is in there, intend, that's his sort of out there, but I know when I see this clip, it's for him now to take all the millions of people that he spoke to and told them to go against someone that he does not agree with for a second. The hypocrisy in that, and the lies and the fraudulent nature that he has just proven to be like all the rest of them, has made me just given up completely on anything to do with politics. I hate it unless you run day. What are your thoughts?
Well, I actually thought you put that tremendously well, and I'll tell you, as I was listening to it, I was agreeing with a lot of it. The premise, politics is horseshit. It is ridiculous. It is disingenuous, which is a word I still like from my political experience, where the Ford brother kept using with me, disingenuous. Here's my take. I agree and understand everything that you said. I think it's true that you're saying to supporters who gave $5 and $10, look, I think what you're saying now is he's sort of a sellout, okay? So I agree with that in a way. However, he agreed to run in a nominating contest. That nominating contest has a history and it has rules. In other words, he entered into an arena just like going into an NBA game, an NFL game, a Major League Baseball game that had 9 innings. And he said, or he entered into a baseball game that didn't have 13 innings. It had 9. And at the end of those 9 innings, he lost fair and square. So I see your point completely, but the way I look at it is, if he wouldn't have done what he did, I actually think that would be as fraudulent, not more, but as fraudulent, because here's why. Because he's known he was likely going to lose for a very long time, and I actually think it took him too long to endorse. If he was going to say at the end, I'm not endorsing her, she's not my cup of tea, she's in the pocket of Wall Street, he should have said from the time of his running, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people giving me money, I am telling you right now I'm going to be a sore loser. I'm entering into this contest, but if I lose, I will not support her. I will encourage you to vote for Donald Trump or whoever the Republican nominee is, and I will not abide by the rules of the game I entered. And my view is, just like I've been on your show before, and there's a Canadian tennis player, given that Wimbledon is coming up and there's a lot of tennis happening
Wimbledon
now.
ended.
No, sorry, Wimbledon ended, but the U.S. Open's coming up. Sorry.
No problem.
Wimbledon ended, but sportsmanship matters, right? And there's a Canadian girl named Eugenie Bouchard.
Yep.
And she refused about a year ago, refused. And you and I talked about this on air. She refused to shake the hand of a girl in a first-round match before she played her because she goes, I don't do that. And I said to you back then, because it really bothered me, I thought it was horrible, I said, she's got karma coming her way. Since then, she's had a concussion and hasn't won a significant match. And to me, it's the same thing. Bernie Sanders does not sell out his views or anything else by saying, I lost fair and square. I'd like to harness my base and my votes to support Hillary Clinton to at least keep Donald Trump out. I say that without disagreeing with any of what you said about politics being completely ridiculous, horse shitty, but that's the game.
I'm really so happy I dug into so much about corporate greed, though. Everything, and then how Hillary Clinton completely, fully endorses corporate greed. I mean, I'm sorry. If I'm Bernie Sanders, I go out there and I say, you know what? I went in this not thinking I was going to lose. I didn't think I was going to lose. And am I doing the right thing right now by being a sore loser? Probably not. It goes against everything we stand for. We're supposed to stick by the people who win fair and square in our parties because those are the parties we ran under and I get the rules of the game. But in this case, I cannot endorse anyone who is left for this presidential race. This is not what I signed up for. I thought I would have had the majority vote to get in. I thought I would have got one all more like whatever they're fucking called. I don't even know anymore.
Delegate.
Yeah. And all I'm saying is this, he should have said, I am sticking true to my word. I will never endorse someone who I've been essentially smearing for the last year, but smearing rightfully for the greater of humankind to make us a better place. And you know what? I'm going to go and get paid $40,000 every corporate speech I have now, but give 39 of it back and just get my $1,000 to pay a mortgage. And I won't have the corporate greed, but I'll be able to make a difference that way. That's what I would have done.
I get that completely, but let me ask you this then while we're doing this. So Barack Obama came out for the first time this week and endorsed Hillary Clinton and said she should be the president after me, right?
Yeah.
So is it your view that President Obama, and I'm not disagreeing because I think there's something really interesting to it, President Obama ran against Hillary Clinton, and he had some real choice criticisms, real choice digs at her. You can actually go on Apple TV, and there's a whole channel devoted to President Obama's takedowns of Hillary Clinton. Is it your view then that she shouldn't be endorsed by him as the sitting president?
I'm going to let Jay give his view first just to get him in on this conversation.
You know, I got to say, Ari, there was a different tone, though. Bernie took a different tone. He was the guy coming out against the establishment. He was anti everything that these politicians were supposed to stand for. So Barack, however, was again campaigning on hope and change, and a lot of his comments had racial undertones under them, and bringing together people of all races and ethnicities, which he did to some extent, but that didn't go against Hillary Clinton as much as Bernie did. Bernie campaigned on a different manner, and different speaking.
And just to give my answer on it, I was pissed off that Barack Obama did it too. I really was, especially when I saw old clips of his of running 4 years ago against her and the things he was saying. I've seen all those. But, the one thing at that point that I think was his duty more than Bernie Sanders' duty was to encourage and implore voters not to vote for an imposing party coming in, and especially Donald Trump. That I understand. In Bernie Sanders' case, he could simply have said, listen, you can do what you want here. I'm not telling you what to do in a very Bernie Sanders way, but I cannot go against my word that I've been saying, and this is not the right woman for the job.
Okay, then what's he left saying? If he's the loser and she beat him fair and square, what should he then say?
He should just say that you guys made a mistake. I'm sorry.
That's fine. But then, I see your point, but I just think that I see your point, but I think there's something very, very unseemly about him standing there like a petulant child.
I don't know. I bet you at the end of the day, if you could ever go and have a beer with Bernie Sanders and you were just like really hanging out with him and he was just like totally like, hey, I'll tell you. I bet you he would say this, from the things I know, I'd probably vote for Trump.
Yeah, and Ari, he's done. Bernie's done. He's old, really old.
Right. You're saying he's not going to run again, so why not go out changing the world even as you finish?
Yes.
Yes. I see. Yeah.
Stick to it, man. It's like Kevin Durant leaving for Golden State, man.
Oh, I think that's horrible.
So Ari, this is it. Then now that's my answer. That's the analogy. For people who are like, why are you wasting your time talking about this? He should have never left his team. I don't care. Congratulate, but don't leave your team. Your team's different than Hillary's team. Go and build something for your team.
To extrapolate it further, what Kevin Durant did and what you're essentially saying Bernie Sanders did is he minimized and reduced future competition. Durant did that by saying, I'm going to stack the deck like a dream team, and so the NBA now is the worst sport, but I'm going to cheat and star power my way into a championship rather than earning it with the team that brought me to the dance the way LeBron did.
You nailed it. It's about earning it. It's about earning it. And then for a future Bernie Sanders who's like, look at this guy making a difference, and then to see him just quit and give up and go to the championship team, that's bullshit.
I think it's a very, very wise metaphor.
Cool, bud. We got to go.
Okay.
Hello. Can you play basketball, by the way? You want to play some horse later?
I'm very white. Very white.
Okay. Ari Goldkind. Ari Goldkind. Thanks for hanging out with us.
The Todd Shapiro Show. Turn up your speakers, especially if you're over 65. SiriusXM 168. Canada Laughs.